Hello, guys, and welcome to a historic day in tennis. We've got the first big final between Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. Welcome to the new era, everybody. The first big final of their careers, the epic rivalry, the 11th edition of it. It is 6-4 in favor of Alcaraz. He won all three meetings last year. Jannik Sinner is the world number one. He has been playing some fantastic tennis. Getting a bagel done against Tommy Paul, although in a bit tougher of a match than some maybe expected for him. Obviously, the performance against Casper. Alcaraz has been the guy on clay. We'll see what happens. The last time they met, 7-6 in the third in Beijing. Epic, about as close as it comes. It was 3-0. Sinner was up, and then we saw a crazy comeback in the tiebreaker. So let me know who's winning. Let me know what you think is going to happen. We're ready for it. This is the stream where you want to be at if you want to follow this match. It's going to be live commentary and play-by-play. I'm a huge fan of this rivalry already. I think it's going to be crazy. So let me know who you think is going to win and what's going to happen. I myself am very, very torn. I don't have a huge take here on who's going to win. I think I will not be surprised by almost any outcome that can happen here. But I'm gonna pick Carlos. I think Carlos is gonna have the confidence from the 3 wins last year. He I think may be more comfortable on clay. I will say one of the reasons that Sinner struggled in his match against Tommy Paul is he said the conditions were colder, they were heavier. It is not cold. It is not, I don't think it's going to be the same kind of heavy conditions today. So that's a good sign for Jannik. But for Carlos, yeah, we'll just see if, being on tour the last 3 months and having that Monte Carlo title in his belt, how that will help him. He's been a ridiculously good, both of these guys have been ridiculously good in finals, particularly the big moments with the big lights on them. Like with the spotlight on them in the big finals, they have both been fantastic players. Particularly, they've shown up when it matters the most. But now they play against each other, so somebody's going to have to lose. Alcaraz in particular, he's never lost a big final to somebody not named Novak Djokovic. And the 2 finals he lost were 2 all-time epic matches against Djokovic in Cincinnati and Olympics. So that's something I would keep in mind as well. How you guys doing, Lexi? What's up? What's up? Hey, thank you for the donation. How you doing, Joe Mom? I appreciate that for missing a lot of your streams. Let's go. No, you're good. Yeah, I'm just happy to see you. And everybody. Happy to see you and everyone here. Wonder what's the delay. Yeah, they had this big, opening, what would you even call it? Ceremony. All right, here we go. They had this person playing the piano. It was like 25 minutes long, but we're here. We're getting started. Sinner to serve. Here we go, everybody. Let's go. All right, I'm taking Carlos in 3 sets. Let me know your predictions. Carlos in 3 for me. Taking Carlos in 3, 7-5 in the third. Yeah, 7-5 in the third for me. First point to Sinner, 15 love. What Sinner was able to do really well against Paul was he didn't start out that great, but he was able to cut down more on errors. He was able to step up inside the baseline. When things were not working with him, he took the control back in the match. We'll see who's the player dictating the rallies here today and how both will play. Forehand goes to the forehand of Sinner. That's going to go long. 15 all. It's a historic day. It's a historic day. People will look back at this match. That's always fun. The first big final between these two. Alcaraz moves up to world number 2. It's not clear that these guys aren't going to be competing in finals for a long, long time now. They might stay the top two in the world. They might keep, dominating above everybody else. It's not clear. Other guys can catch up. 30-15 for Sinner. I mean, there's guys like Menzik. There's guys like Jack Draper. It's these guys we've been watching for a while. There's Lorenzo Musetti, Holger Rune. There's no reason that the next era needs to have a big three like the other era. It's not like every era in the past has had a big three. But you never know who shows up. Dino Prismic won a challenger this week. Who knows how he'll how he'll look in 4 or 5 years. But the question is, but the point is that these two look like they're a level above everybody else. ALCARAZ misses the return. It's 40-15 for Sinner here. Yeah, it's a watch-long stream. This is a watch-long stream, yep. If I can talk, then it is. All right, 40-15 here for Sinner. Serve from the Italian is in the net. It's a second serve. Serves in the net, 40-30. I'm excited. I've been waiting for this. We waited way too long. It's too late. It's too late for them to play their first big final of their career. We've been waiting so long. Rune and Draper played a big final before Sinner and ALCARAZ did. ALCARAZ played another Italian, young Italian in the final before we got ALCARAZ Sinner in a big final. Like, it's finally here. It's crazy they haven't played one yet. Sinner with some good serving already, starting off the match strong. It's 1-0. Sinner's serve has only gotten stronger and stronger over time as this rivalry has kept progressing. It hasn't mattered for ALCARAZ. I mean, ALCARAZ is still up 6-4. You will remember, I don't like talking about exhibitions, and then I'll be hypocritical and do it right now anyway. But Sinner won that 6-king slam match where I'm sure both players were trying to get, the amount of money that was on the line. But not an ATP match, not a big final. All the same. But Sinner won that. But then ALCARAZ, like 2 weeks later, came out and won that Beijing match when he was on the very brink of losing it. He was down to double mini break, 3-0. And fought his way back into that one. So, and 7-6 in the third. It's about as close as it comes. So, yeah, this match very up in the air. They also haven't played in a minute. They haven't played yet this year. Forehand of ALCARAZ goes to the forehand of Sinner. It's going to be long. I mean, potentially it could be some of the longest that they go without play. That could have been the longest they go without playing for a while now. I mean, like, for in the future, they might not have a 7-8 month period like that in general where they don't play each other. Like, we could see this matchup a lot more constantly starting about now. Part of that was obviously the suspension on Jannik as well. When was the last time they played? Beijing in 2020. Beijing last year. How you doing, Massimo? Forehand goes out from ALCARAZ. That's what people say. Sinner is the more solid between the two. ALCARAZ is prone to unforced errors. But listen, I think both these guys don't like playing the other one. I really think Sinner... I think both of them just really don't like play. I think they like playing each other because, it's entertaining for fans. By the way, the home crowd is going to be a factor. They're going to be cheering for Sinner all the way. But I think they both push the best out of each other. I think they challenge each other a lot because they both are kind of each other's weakness. It's fire and ice. ALCARAZ is fire. Jannik is ice. There's no doubt about that one. That backhand slice is going to go out from Sinner, so 30-15. But yeah, I mean, in total honesty, a couple of the last times they've played, it hasn't always been, US Open 2022 level. At Roland Garros, I felt like it was a little bit, maybe a little bit less, just super solid. You could also point to Indian Wells the year before, but for the most part, whatever these two come up against each other, it's fireworks and it's high level. It's 30 all. Is it going to be a chance here for Sinner early stages? Let's see. Sinner ready to return this one. Would be big for Sinner to get an early start like he did against Rude, not against Paul. Big forehand from ALCARAZ. That's a solid +1. Goes behind Yannick, and he is stepping inside the court. By the way, Carlos could learn a little bit from what Tommy Paul did. Tommy Paul was, I mean, first of all, he was doing really well on just on defense and moving around, but also he was hitting with such constant depth and really suffocating Sinner in their semifinal to start that one off. So Carlos, I mean, if Tommy Paul can do it, I think Carlos can do it. So we'll see if Carlos can do it and maybe sustain it for more than a set as well. And he's ready for whatever, the onslaught that Sinner has to offer. He's seen it before. Just like that forehand, big inside out from Yannick. Yannick sinning early with some forehands that are just immoral. Deuce. 153 kilometers an hour. That one's clocked in. Deuce. Thank you guys for joining in. By the way, don't forget to subscribe Quality Shot Tennis if you are new to the channel. We do a lot of great tennis content, and we do live streams like this often. Hopefully more often now with the Grand Slam season of Roland Garros, Wimbledon upon us as well. The summer. It's going to be good. Advantage to ALCARAZ. It's going to be good. It's a game point here at 0-1. Backhand ALCARAZ. Sorry, forehand ALCARAZ. Goes to the backhand of Sinner, which goes wide. Backhand Sinner goes wide. It's 1-1. Let me know your predictions. I haven't seen that many predictions in the chat. Let me know predictions. How are you doing, Zara? How are you doing, Sam? I've got Carlos in 3. How's it going, Sean? I heard there's a big match today. How you doing, Sean? What's up? What's up? Yeah. A lot of Carota boys in the crowd. I'm seeing a lot of orange. They're going to be cheering on Sinner, but I'll tell you what, ALCARAZ has that kind of Roger Federer thing. Like, he's cheered on wherever he goes to, so he's going to get some crowd love, no doubt, but Sinner is going to be getting the love from the crowd, no doubt. That's going to be a factor. Forehand. It's going to go long. Love 15 for ALCARAZ. I actually think if you're going to look at any match in their head-to-head, the one to look at, I think, is in Umag in 2022. A while ago now, about 3 years ago now, but I do want to point that one out because that was a clay final of a tournament, clay final. ALCARAZ won the first set, looked like he was gonna win that in straights. Sinner plays just the most magnificent tennis and suffocates ALCARAZ to winning just one game of the last 12 games. Sinner won 11 of the last 12 games of that match. So, and ALCARAZ, I mean, he wasn't injured or anything. ALCARAZ would get his revenge at the U.S. Open, but that was a crazy moment when you'd expect ALCARAZ has the advantage on a clay court. We'll see if he does here. That was a great get from ALCARAZ on the backhand, forehand. Goes to the backhand of Sinner. We always get some crazy rallies between these two. Forehand goes to the forehand of Sinner. Backhand of ALCARAZ in the net. 30-15 for Sinner. Regardless what happens, it's a historic moment, a historic day for tennis, no doubt. You can be sure about that. So that's just fun to be a part of. Like we'll look, like I said, we'll look back at this match. Like I'll look back at this live stream and be like, here's me reacting to such a big moment, So everything is every point, every shot, it just adds to the moment. It's like the Olympics final last year. Like every now and again, you just get a big match where it just feels like every shot, every point is, I mean, it maybe sounds a little bit corny, but historic in a way. Like every point is adding to what is going to be a really important result, you know? Serve from Yannick goes into the back end of Carlos, forehand Yannick. Inside out, back end Alcaraz, back end slice Alcaraz, goes to the forehand of Sinner, back end down the line. Sinner's there at the forehand. Oh, Alcaraz goes right back to him, but Sinner misses the forehand into the net. It's an interesting play because the other side was completely open, but Alcaraz got away with it anyway. It was an awkward rally with some mishits. By the way, en route to this match, Alcaraz has taken out Lajovic, Laszlo Gera, a couple Serbs back-to-back, then Karin Khachanov, Jack Draper, Lorenzo Musetti, tough draw. Sinner, Navone, De Jong, Cerundolo, Casper Ruud, Tommy Paul. So some tough ones in there too, no doubt. Casper Ruud didn't made him look like a junior player, but Casper Ruud just went on a 9-match win streak. Forehand, cross court, goes to the forehand of Sinner, forehand of Alcaraz in the net. 2-1 for Sinner. Nothing too crazy so far, but a few close games. It's Sinner who gets a 2-1. We're still on serve. Still on serve. And did you watch Mission Impossible new movie? I have no interest to watching that. I love the Mission Impossible series. My friend said it's kind of meh. Yeah, it's just like endless sequels. There's no original movies being made anymore, which sucks in my opinion. Yannick in 3 sets. All right. I understand. If anybody would say Carlos in 2 sets, Yannick in 2 sets, and anything in between, I would get it. Like, it all makes sense to me. Yannick seemed to have an issue with one of his ties in semis. Do we know anything about that? Sinner said he'll be healthy for the final. That's the only thing we've heard. These guys like to keep their cards close to their chest. So we'll know more, I think, probably after the match is finished, if anything. I don't think he would disclose anything before the match. That's how I like it. I like the players playing a chess match. It's a poker match, you know? That's one big part of it. Like, I don't know. I think it's fine if players want to, be friendly and stuff, but I think like I like that aspect of tennis, that it's one-on-one, it's a mental battle. Like we don't want to see them just being friends out there on the court in a big final. We want to see them freaking fight to the death. We want to see them go at it, not swords in hand. Like I want to see an absolute battle. What I like about Sinner and Alcaraz is that they are very sportsmen. They're very sporty, good sportsmen, and they're very friendly towards each other, maybe more than we've ever seen between rivals of this caliber, but especially this early on in their careers. But when they get on the court, it is as nerve-wracking, stressful, intense as it gets. Because listen, people are always super excited for a Sinner Alcaraz match, but people always forget what the experience is like. It's like, this is a stressful occasion, okay? It is stressful when these two guys go at it with each other. I mean, early in their careers, part of that was the fact that their serves were kind of the weak parts of their game. For Yannick, you definitely can't say that anymore. But it would mean that every single game was hotly contested. There's no game where they just got, 4 free points on their serve. Absolutely. Friends off the court, but on court should be a battle. Yeah. I would not mind a real fight between the two. What's up, Sheila? Well, I know with your freaking MMA, profile pic, I'm not surprised, I'm not surprised. 15-all for Alcaraz. No, I love it. That their match at the U.S. Open is, yeah. I mean, low key, that might be my favorite match of all time. Just the fact that just watching it and being there from almost the first point to the last. I joined in at deuce in the first game. I mean, that match is insane. I've never seen a match like that. Like when it finished, I was like, what the hell did I just watch? It was such a special match, and such an indication of the fact tennis is still going to be good after the big 3 leave, and also such an indication of what this rivalry is like. Like they produce something special when they go at it, All right, it's 15:30 here. Carlos serving. One of my favorite matches and one of my favorite rivalries for sure. We'll see what today has to offer. It's a serve from Carlos. Kicked back in the center. It's going to go long. 30 all. Don't forget to like the stream if you guys haven't already. It would be appreciated. Helps the stream get passed around as well. YouTube algorithm, however that stuff works. I don't know. I think that helps too. Serve is good down the T. 40-30 for ALCARAZ. Some good serving from both so far. And the really important point early on so far was that 30 all in ALCARAZ's first service game. +1. He hits a good serve, but an even better +1 forehand. Gutsy right behind center. That's kind of what ALCARAZ needs to do, I think, is partially take it to to Yannick and be the aggressor. Backhand slice. Forehand of center, backhand of ALCARAZ. Backhand of center, backhand rally, forehand center. Forehand of Carlos, cross court, forehand of center. Back to the forehand of Carlos. Yannick out position, neck cord, lucky, stays in. Backhand slice into the net. Looked like Yannick was down and out, but Yannick scrambling, fighting. And he finds a way to steal the point. Deuce. He seemed way out of position sliding over to that backhand, but it ended up being a good shot with an assist from the net. The net playing the role of John Stockton, giving center an assist as well. Good serve from ALCARAZ. ALCARAZ serving well to start off here. He's hitting his spots. Advantage to Carlos. Both these guys, two of the best returners, no doubt about that. Even when they were not the best servers, two of the best returners. Do you think Draper can get in the mix? I'm a Draper fan, by the way. Yeah, I think he can. I mean, I'm gonna write an article about who I think has the best chance of joining these two as the third best player of this era. Even if there's no big three, who's going to be the third best player of this era? And I think Jack Draper is right up there as one of the top contenders. I mean, that guy is ridiculously talented. Anybody can see it. He hits the ball just so well. He's doing a little bit better in the mental aspect in the big moments, although there is ways to improve there. Physical side, it seems like he's way better in that aspect, because that was a big problem for him. It's like stamina, I think he can get up there. I don't think he's at center and ALCARAZ's level yet, but I think he can get up there. Big forehand from center, shot of the match so far. Big forehand on the run. Welcome back, Juan Martín del Potro. This guy, the way he can flatten out the forehand on the run, cross court or down the line. Number one, it's beautiful to watch. And number two, it's just amazing. I don't remember seeing this since Dopo, just so flat, either side, hits it so big. They say this guy's not fun to watch, but I mean, they're lying. Yannick is one of the most talented players we've ever had on tour, and so is Carlos. That's why people tune into these matches. Forehand goes to the forehand of Yannick, down the line, backhand of Carlos. Backhand goes wide from center, 15 all. Who would you say has the momentum right now? It's real early, huh? It's early. Who has the momentum? Neither. I'd say ALCARAZ is doing pretty well, but neither guy has the momentum. The only reason I'd even say ALCARAZ is doing well is because I feel like he's serving well, and he's done well at getting some points early on in center service games, which is good for him, but there's nobody that has the momentum right now. Strange pancake return from ALCARAZ. Good serve from center, 30-15. Yes, these two are players all tennis fans want to see, huge crowd pullers. Yep, and we need that, right? We need new stars. People are like, Who are people going to watch? I mean, I mentioned El Potro, but who are people going to watch when Andy Murray's gone? Who are people going to watch when Roger Federer is gone? Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic. I mean, they are just like mythical figures at this point. Like, who's going to replace them? And Sinner and Alcaraz are the two names that have shown up, and that is good for tennis in my book. Backhand, cross court, goes out, 30 all. Alcaraz with a chance here. Watch out. Pretty sure this is Alcaraz's first 30 all moment in the match. Crowd trying to rally behind Sinner, not give Alcaraz this early lead. Can we see the first big moment and, sort of event in this match? Will it happen right here? Serve out wide, forehand, and that's a great serve from Sinner. Both these guys serving clutch to start off this match. Both guys looking for a big push early on return, and neither of the guys is giving it to the other. You know, they're both trying to break early, but both guys are just serving really clutch to start off this match. Man, this rivalry is something special, you know. We always see something good. Backhand cross court goes to the backhand of Jannik down the line. Forehand of Alcaraz goes to the forehand of Jannik. Forehand of Alcaraz. Pipe. Forehand slice. Sinner. Forehand of Alcaraz. So good. Carlos Alcaraz with some impressive forehand hitting. Come on. Deuce. Let's go. Let's go. Deuce, you're at 2 games apiece. Jannik to serve. Big moment in this match early. Big serve down T. Alcaraz is there with return. Goes just long. Advantage to Sinner. And I like both these guys. I think, you know, they both offer a lot of great things to tennis. Sinner's play style is one that, I mean, Alcaraz has a more, you know, flashy game style, but Sinner's game style is really entertaining to me. Like I find the players who are, you know, use their talent to be very effective like Jannik does, but occasionally the just immense talent he has just comes out and just ridiculous shots. You think of the dive last year against Griekspoor, or like something else, like occasionally it just like all bubbles up into some great shot, even when you don't really expect it. And I find that kind of a game style to be quite entertaining. You know, less explosive, less you know, MPHs in his game, but like Casper Ruud is kind of like that too. But then you got the players like Lorenzo Musetti, Carlos Alcaraz, who are more just outright flashy, have every shot in the book. You know, go take big risks. You know, like those players are obviously like, yeah, both these guys to me, I like both their game styles. Backhand goes out from Sinner. It's the first break point of this contest, and it comes to Carlos Alcaraz, who gets a break point. Advantage to him. Advantage Alcaraz after 5.5 minutes in this game already. Does Sinner get another big serve here? He found one at 30 all. That was just fantastic on the serve. Can he find another one here? Goes for one down the tee. Sinner just with a casual Federer-esque racket catch with the ball. Catches the ball in his racket. But that's not going to win him the match. It's advantage to Alcaraz, facing down break point. Forehand of Alcaraz goes long. It's a good serve. Alcaraz will wish he made that return and at least made Sinner play, but we're at deuce here. So, yeah, I mean, these guys have been so good in big finals, right? Like, I'll talk about it on the next changeover. I'll go over their finals record, because they both, yeah, I'll go over their finals records. All right, it's deuce here, Sinner, serve. Backhand down the line, backhand of center, cross court, backhand of ALCARAZ in the net. Vantage Yannick, finding his way out of trouble. Every point is a battle. Wow, exactly. Carlos does need to improve his serve. Yeah, I agree. I'm going for Alki in 3. I'm a Carlos fan, so I'm supporting Carlos, but Yannick's game have improved a lot. I mean, yeah. Yannick's, the way that he's improved his serve, the way that his defense is just all-time good, and it wasn't even, like his defense improvement is the craziest thing to me. Forehand down the line, goes to the backhand of ALCARAZ, backhand of center, cross court, goes to the backhand of ALCARAZ, gonna be out. It's a come on from center. He says, I'm ready for it. Break point down. I'm playing clutch. Both guys playing clutch on serve early. Both guys are having a little bit of a test from the other guy on return, but they're coming up with some clutch serving early. We are in for a battle in Rome. Aren't we the lucky ones for it? 3-2. Center serves the main difference between two. If ALCARAZ improves his serve, he'll be so dominant. I think that's valid. Some people will point to Center's consistency also, or lack of unforced errors off both wings. You could also argue that Center's back end is better than Carlos's, but there's certainly things that Carlos is better at than Yannick. I think even though Yannick has improved at the net, has improved his drop shot, I think nobody on the planet would say that Yannick is better at the net or at drop shots than Carlos is. I think, or just at, like shots that have never even freaking been hit before. Carlos hit shots that you've never seen before, like whether it's that crazy squash shot running backwards against Djokovic at Roland Garros a couple of years ago, or when he hits fake drop shots, but he hits them as like on the backhand side. Like he'll hit shots that I've just never seen anybody else even attempt to go for. But it's cool. I mean, Carlos plays with such a love for the sport, and I guess those are some of my favorite athletes to watch too. It's like a Steph Curry in basketball. Like they just do things that nobody would ever even go for. Nobody else would ever even go for. Carlos needs to win my money. Yeah. How are you doing, everybody? We've got almost 300 people watching. Appreciate y'all. Let's keep it growing. Let's keep it going. Love it. Serve from Carlos here at 3-2. Last time these two met on a clay court, Roland Garros last year, semifinals. That one could have gone either way. It ended up going the way of Carlos. Personally, I thought that was probably their lowest level match, maybe, for where the two were at. Like relative to the standards of where the two were playing generally at the time, I felt like that was probably the lowest level match that we've seen between the two. Hoping for a higher level match today, but in Beijing and Indian Wells last year, they both played fantastic, and Roland Garros had its moments too. And certainly it had the drama, it had the level at times, but like I said, I thought in general it was relatively, I don't want to say underwhelming, but it's like underwhelming is kind of a weird word, but it was relatively low level, but the drama was definitely there, it being 5 sets. All right, 30 love for ALCARAZ here. We're still on serve. Center saved a few break points the last game. Backhand, center, forehand, drop shot. ALCARAZ his first one. Center runs, can't get there. He's going to hit a few of those. It's a good play for ALCARAZ. It's his sweet spot. If he can pull center behind the baseline and then pull him in with some drop shots. ALCARAZ's touch on the drop shot is immaculate, and the way he can disguise it up until the last moment, and also his courage, honestly, to play that shot in the big moments is one of the biggest things that sets it apart too. So the ball goes into the stands there. Takes a weird bounce. It's 40 love for ALCARAZ. Almost holding here. Backhand down the line. ALCARAZ forehand cross court. It's a drop shot from center. ALCARAZ runs. Redrop. Center's there. Redrop. ALCARAZ runs. Can't get there. That's a good play from Yannick. I was almost applauding, but I don't think anybody would enjoy that on stream. That would be really loud into the mic. 40-15. What a play from Yannick. It's hard to do 2 consecutive drop shots against Alcaraz, the fastest guy who's ever played the sport in some people's minds, including myself, to be honest. That was wow, what touch. Yannick trying to prove what I said wrong. I was like, Carlos has a better drop shot than anybody else on tour. He has a better drop shot than Yannick, and then Yannick hits 2 fantastic, difficult drop shots literally back to back, because Carlos was way off the court, outside the tram lines, running near the ad side. Backhand cross court stays in. Backhand slice into the net. 3-3. 3 games apiece. Both guys staying clutch on serve. Then Yannick does that. Exactly. I know. Forza. How's am I going to be sitting here flowing with dopamine mode or nothing? Okay. Alcaraz is the GOAT. There you go. Not yet, but that makes me curious that you say that. How many slams is he going to get? I think we're about to hear a ridiculous, outrageous, huge number. He's going to win 40 slams. Let me know. 15 love. It's not the GOAT yet. I think Djokovic and Federer and Nadal and Laver and Rosewall and Sampras and Ivan Lendl and a lot of other guys would have something to say about that. But he can get in that conversation if his career continues at this pace for a decade or so. Backhand, cross court, he would definitely be in that conversation. Backhand, center, goes to the forehand of Carlos. Forehand of center, cross court, hits the top of the net, and goes back in the side, 15-all. I will say, really early on, I would say Alcaraz is very minimally the better player so far. Minimally. Which is a good sign for Alcaraz, you know? It wasn't clear it was going to be that way. You know, Sinner takes out Casper Ruud 6-0, 6-1, loses 7 points in the first set. It's not obvious that anybody would even be able to get close to Sinner right now. But, yeah, obviously Sinner was not going to completely maintain that level forever. Fantastic forehand down the line from Sinner. Just stays in, 30-15. But I'd say very minimally Alcaraz the better player so far in the match, but very minimally. It's like 53% to 47%. It's like that, very minimally. Yeah, maybe. It's hard to say. Serve goes long from Sinner, 30-all. Serve Sinner, goes to the backhand of Carlos, back forehand of Sinner. Again, backhand of Carlos, up high, backhand Sinner. Forehand big, goes to the backhand of Carlos. Carlos there at the forehand down the line, backhand of Sinner, big. Both guys very clutch so far in proceedings. I mean, whenever they've been at 30-all, clutch. Like all 3 30-all points so far have been very clutch from both. I'm being very specific, but Carlos with the +1 at 30-all, Yannick with the fantastic serve out wide at 30-all a couple games ago, and then that jumping backhand up there, with some elevation 40-30 for Sinner. I mean, both guys clutch so far on their serves. That's clutch too. Big serve out wide. Yannick getting help from the crowd. I'm sure his friends, his family, his country watching him and cheering him on. 4-3. Oh, I was going to look at these two guys in finals. Let me do that. All right, so these two guys in finals. So, first of all, before I get into this, I do want to mention Yannick Sinner has won his last 25 matches, and he's won 24 consecutive sets against top 10 players. The record is John McEnroe, at least in the open era. I don't know before that. But since they've had the ATP rankings, the against top 10 players, the record is John McEnroe with 28 consecutive sets. If Yannick wins today, I reckon his chances of getting the record are quite high. This seems to be the most important match to win for that because, I mean, at Roland Garros, I mean, he comes up against, let's say, Alex de Minaur or some other top 10 player. It's harder to win in straight sets than 3 out of 5, but if you think about it, that's more like, I don't know, like I'm trying to articulate what I'm trying to say, but that's more sets to win in a match. Like if you're up 2 sets to love, I back Sinner to win the 3rd set also. And that would mean that he just got 3 sets. So, and he's probably not going to be playing Alcaraz like really early on in that tournament. So he'll probably play another top 10 player before that. So I reckon if he wins today, chances of getting that record are quite high. The other thing I want to mention, so about finals, Alcaraz is back here to serve 3-4. But about finals, Yannick is 19-5, and in big finals, he is currently 8-3. He is currently 8-3. Losing to Medvedev in Miami, Hurkacz in Miami, and Djokovic in the ATP finals. Carlos, like I was mentioning earlier, has a ridiculous record. I believe it's 10-2. I'm going to double check on that, but there's only losses being to Djokovic in Cincinnati and Olympics. The latter I know for sure. Only losses to Novak in Cincinnati and Olympics. And yeah, his finals record 18-6. And yeah, it is. It's 10-2, his big finals record. All right, 15 all here. Both guys have shown up. This is an important match for this rivalry and where we're going to go from here. Big moves if Alcaraz goes up 7-4, by the way. Definitely doesn't, whatever happens today, I don't think it means that this is definitely who's going to end up being the, win the most. This is the guy who's going to be ahead in their head-to-head when all is said and done their careers. I don't even necessarily think it's necessarily going to define what happens for the rest of the year or something, but it's a big match. Nobody can doubt that. And I think especially because if Alcaraz wins this, suddenly he's got massive momentum in this head-to-head. Like 7-4 and winning 4 straight is no joke. No joke. People will point to the fact that this is on clay, but then other people will point to the fact that he also won in Beijing. So, it's kind of a thing. People will say, okay, but Sinner had the home crowd advantage. It's true. Well, what do you say to that? People say Sinner is only just coming back. Yeah, but the way he played against Casper Ruud, he was playing some of the best tennis anyone's played yet this decade. So, what will you say to that? Forehand, inside out, backhand slice, forehand slice Alcaraz, backhand, goes for a passing shot. Sinner forgets that the court is not that big. But what was a good attempt though? 4-4. Nerves of Steel. I say get rid of the finals and create a 5th Grand Slam. I've never heard that before. Interesting. I mean, having a Grand Slam on indoors would be interesting. By voting for this match is one triumph for Sinner. Besides, he has the crowd is cheering to him. Yeah. Sinner lost the set to Paul. That's true. Yes, this match helps in the build-up to Roland Garros. Yep, first set a big psychological advantage. 100%. 100,000%. We are lucky today. We are privileged to watch this one, you know? 100%. Forehand of Carlos. Goes to forehand of Sinner inside out. Backhand of Carlos. Backhand of Sinner. Backhand down the line. Goes to forehand of Jannik. Forehand of Carlos. Again down the line. Carlos hits it long. It's 15 all. This feels like a moment, you know? This feels like a moment. Oh, sorry, 30 all. Not 15 all. Does Jannik get to 5-4 and then gets a game away from the set? Late stages. We're no longer in the early stages. It's late stages. This is end game of the first set. Somebody has to win it, you know? Unless we're here forever and nobody is able to win by 2 in the tiebreaker. Carlos way behind the baseline for the return, but it works for him there. But still, Jannik too strong. 40 love. It's so hard because Sinner's serve facilitates him to have such a strong +1. The way he can hit any part of the court with backhand or forehand. I mean, Jannik is a freaking monster to play. Serve out wide. It's too good. Hold to love to get to 5-4. Now who has the momentum? Nobody's really had the momentum yet. They are fighting for it. They are both fighting for it, huh? Clutch time. I mean, clutch is the way I would describe the set so far from both, to be fair. Yeah, Jannik, he's been the guy to beat the last, he hasn't played that much this year. This is only his second tournament of the year, but last year was a monster year for Jannik. There's no doubt about it. And he wants to continue on that same way. If he was to win today's match, that is huge for him. I mean, I already mentioned why it's huge for Carlos. It's also huge for other, like, personal reasons for Carlos to win 2 of the Masters tournaments in the clay season. That would mean a lot for Alcaraz and shut up a lot of people who have been saying a lot of negative things for Carlos. You know, I thought I saw negativity towards Carlos last year before he won the Channel Slam, and then I thought that would shut everybody up. You know, I'm not trying to mince words here. I thought everybody would just not. I thought everybody would shut up with any kind of hate after that, surely, but no, we've had a lot of people going at Carlos and saying, oh, he's never going to win anything again. And everybody's bound to their opinion, but like, I've seen some crazy stuff, you know, and it's like, particularly with Alcaraz, my gut instinct says we're not going to see that a whole lot with him because he's just so flashy. He's so clearly talented athletically. And he's 21, 2 years old and has done generational things he does. But then you remember about human nature, and people tend to have ridiculous expectations, particularly when players look like Carlos Alcaraz does. So I think people just have too high expectations with Carlos. Like, yes, the guy is human. He is unbelievable, though. You know, he's an unbelievable human being. He plays one of the better athletes, and he's going to do some great things. That's a great drop shot from Carlos. Yeah, nobody gets to that. Even if he was playing himself on the other side of the court out, nobody gets to that shot. Great drop shot from Alcaraz. 30 love. Good serving from Carlos so far, I gotta say. Good serving. You know, we haven't seen any, show-stopping rallies, but it's been a good level so far. Both guys playing clutch. Already, I think, maybe higher level than their bout at Roland Garros last year, particularly the first 2 or 3 sets of that one. Backhand cross court goes to the backhand of center. Forehand of Carlos goes to the forehand of Yannick. That's in the net. 40 love. Now center will make his move. Sorry, I got to the comment late as Saquon didn't age particularly well. I know what you meant though. At 6'5", we'll see. We'll see. 40 love. Both guys doing well on their serves. Huge firepower from both guys. The things that they are capable of. Sinner misses that one with a big shot. Goes wide, 5-5. 5-5, close first set here. Thank you guys for joining in. Glad to be commentating this one. First big final between these two. It's a historic day in tennis no matter what happens from here on out. No doubt. In Beijing, Carlos lost the first set and came back and won the match anyway. Same thing happened at Roland Garros and at Indian Wells. So maybe, maybe Yannick doesn't want to win the first set, That was a pattern last year. All 3 matches, Yannick wins the first set and then loses the match anyway. Let's see. Maybe Yannick wants to fall set behind. But once again, that's something that hasn't happened in 24 consecutive sets, losing a set to a top 10 player. Forehand goes to the backhand slice of Carlos. That's off the baseline. Backhand of Carlos. Sent to the net. I feel like these extended rallies are, when the rallies are getting extended, they are ending with, you'd either call them unforced errors or forced errors. But we haven't really seen very many extended rallies that have ended with a winner yet today. For either guy. I'm not really saying that to say that one guy's doing better than the other. I'm just something that that's happened in the match so far. That could still change. We could see more of that as the match progresses. Forehand of Sinner goes to the forehand of Carlos. Up high, forehand of Sinner. It's another shot off the baseline. Carlos had one like that in the last point, though. So he can't complain too much. 30 love. Carlos Alcaraz cannot complain too much there. Any signs of a Sinner injury? Not at all. This is just a battle between two. I mean, listen, this is what you want. This is a battle between 2 healthy guys who are playing at a good level. There's really no asterisks here right now. Like, it's just like, let the best man win. Let the best man win. That's the tagline for this match, at least if you're on this stream. Forehand return into the net. Both guys barely losing points on serve at this point. Tiebreaker seems quite likely. They've played a lot in their careers, tiebreakers. I think the first 6 or 7 matches they played all had a tiebreaker. At the U.S. Open, they played a couple, and that their U.S. Open match is breathtaking. I almost just lost my breath talking about it. I love that match. Their tiebreakers in that match were amazing to watch. Backhand goes to the forehand of Carlos. Backhand of Sinner goes to the forehand of Carlos. It's going to be out. I'm so corny, bro. I almost just lost my breath just thinking about it. What is the tiebreaker at 10? I'll look into it right now. Yeah, in that match, though, 7-0 tiebreaker for Sinner. I remember that one. Definitely some unforced errors for both guys, but I'd still say the match has been played at a high level. Backhand, down the line, goes to the forehand of center. Forehand, cross court against to the forehand of center. Forehand, that's going to go out. I feel like the forehand of Alcaraz is not maybe maintaining its level and consistency as maybe as well as Yannick's is when they're going forehand to forehand. I feel like Carlos is maybe hitting his forehand a little bit more loopy as Yannick hits it really flat with a lot of depth. I think that's not something completely dissimilar from something we've seen before. Well, actually, if we count their first match, which was a futures match in Alicante, the Juan Carlos Ferrero Open, which was the very very first challenger match that Alcaraz ever played. So the first ever match that Carlos Alcaraz played, period, that would be listed on the ATP website in the ATP head-to-heads was against, actually that's not quite true because he played future matches. I guess futures matches are also listed. That's not true. Don't listen to me. I'm a liar. No, I forgot. Futures matches are also counted for the head-to-head. But the first challenger match Carlos Alcaraz ever played was against Yannick Sinner. Point blank period. The first one. That was at the Alicante Open, Juan Carlos Ferrero Open. And in that one, Sinner was up 3-0 in the third set, and Carlos Alcaraz came back and won the match 6-3 and won the last 6 games. So already they were playing epics as soon as their rivalry got started. But looking at their tiebreakers head to head, I don't know if I'll be able to count this accurately, but let me try it real quick. Just gonna count this up in my head. So actually, I'm going to do it out loud. So Alcaraz won tiebreaker in Paris. That's 1. He won tiebreaker at Wimbledon. That's 2. He won the tiebreaker in Umag. So he started up 3-0. He lost both the tiebreakers at the U.S. Open, amazingly, 3-2. And then Alcaraz won tiebreaker at Indian Wells. That's 4-2. And then what else? Miami, he won the tiebreaker. That's 5-2. Beijing, he lost tiebreaker. It's 5-3. And then the 2 tiebreakers in Beijing for either guy. So 6-4. So their tiebreaker head-to-head, if I counted it correctly, is 6-4 for Alcaraz. But very close. Now Sinner really makes his move. Let's see. All right, we're getting started up here. 15 all. 15 all, 6-5. This is the big moment. Let me know who you think is going to win the set, guys. This could be the moment for Sinner to pounce. 15 all. Backhand. Goes to the forehand of Sinner. Forehand of Alcaraz. Goes to the forehand of Sinner across court. Forehand of Sinner down the line. Backhand. Alcaraz misses the backhand. 15-30. This is the first 15-30 of the match. This could be a big opportunity for Sinner. What a moment for that to happen as Sinner gets 2 points away from the set. Potentially on the brink of some set points. Alcaraz has been serving clutch all set, though. The crowd excited about it as well. The prospects here for Sinner. Alcaraz doesn't get the first serve. Backhand of Alcaraz. Forehand of Sinner. Forehand of Alcaraz. Again, it's going to go out. That forehand of Alcaraz is not really holding up compared to Yannick's forehand. Yannick is able to hit big through the court. The fact that Alcaraz was not able to get a first serve there did not help either. I feel like Alcaraz has been able to get a lot of first serves in under pressure. He's going to have to here to save 2 set points. Remember Indian Wells a couple years ago, Alcaraz was down 5-6 in a set point, and he still came back and won that set and then won the match pretty handily. But this is Sinner set to lose now. 2 set points. Serve. The forehand of Sinner has in the net. Clutch serve. This is what we've been seeing so far this set. 30-40. One more to save. One more to save. Again, thank you guys for joining in. Don't forget, subscribe, Quality Shot Tennis, for more live streams like this one. This is the channel where you want to be for live streams and other tennis content. Serve, Alcaraz goes long. It's a big moment. Sinner working with a second serve. Does Sinner pounce on this? Oh, good second serve. Backhand of Carlos. Back to the backhand of Sinner. Carlos potentially in control here. Forehand. Backhand of Sinner, way wide. Clutch from Alcaraz. Took his time with it. Sinner will wish he did more. Alcaraz was the one under pressure. Sinner, that point was really played more like Sinner was the one down set point. Sinner did not really pounce there. 2 set points come and gone. You know, if you were to say that one player has been the clutch player in this head-to-head, you know, I mean, unbiased, you would say it's Alcaraz, right? You know, I mean, he has won the most matches, but I mean, 6-4 in tiebreakers. He saved a set point at the US Open. Beijing come back from 3-0 down. That saving a set point in their match in Indian Wells, you'd say Alcaraz has been, if you were to choose one, the clutch player in this head-to-head. Sinner misses that one just long behind the baseline as well. Advantage to Alcaraz. It'd be harder to make the case for Sinner there. Yes, Alcaraz has had to hold this first set. Looks like we're going to get a tiebreaker. Backhand cross court. Goes to the backhand of Alcaraz. Backhand of Sinner. Backhand of Alcaraz. Alcaraz hitting that backhand well. Good depth. Good height as well. That's a good shot from Sinner, though. Sinner not done with this game. He's not done. You think he's done with this game, but he's... Deuce it is. He ain't done with this game. Not yet. Not yet. He's not done with it yet as it gets to deuce, and it's Alcaraz to serve here. Not done with this game yet. Not done with this opportunity to take the first set. Big forehand cross court from Sinner. Backhand. Sinner comes in. Massive point. Forehand. Oh, he missed it. That was his to take, and he missed it. Jannik is going to absolutely be hitting himself. I mean, that is one that you just have to make. There's no excuses there. That's a shot that Sinner makes all day. No excuses with that one. I mean, it wasn't easy, but for Jannik, he makes that shot 9 out of 10 times. I mean, last year it felt like he didn't miss a single one of those. You know, all 2024. Feels like he didn't miss that exact shot at any point that year. Another big forehand return. Forehand. Back to deuce we go. Alcaraz in the net. Have there been any aces? Can check on the stats here. Stat sheet. Yeah, 1 ace for both. Yeah, Alcaraz hit an ace early. I remember that down the tee. I think Jannik did real early, but there hasn't been one in a minute, I reckon. I don't think there's been an ace in a minute. Like the first, the first service game of both players, they hit an ace. Both did respectively. An hour-long first set already. Big roar from Carlos as Jannik misses the return. Advantage to Alcaraz. Like I said earlier, Sinner's going to have the crowd support, but the crowd is not going to be anti-Alcaraz, you know? I've never seen a crowd be anti-Alcaraz. He's just one of those guys. So that is something we're not going to see. But it's still going to be a factor. I'm not going to kid around. Forehand of Sinner up high. Forehand of Alcaraz. Cross court. Forehand of Sinner short. Alcaraz goes after with the forehand. Backhand now. Cross court to the backhand of Sinner. Alcaraz runs around. It's a forehand. Inside in. It's going to be wide. Alcaraz saves 2 set points. He gets out of trouble with some deuces. Clutch is the key word of this set, and let the best man win is the key line of this match. Let me know who's going to win the tiebreaker. What's going to be the score in this tiebreaker? Whoever gets it right, I'll shout out your username. Let me know in the chat. I'm going to say Alcaraz. Nah, I actually don't know. I'll say Alcaraz wins the first set. Tiebreaker score 7-5. No. My gut feeling says 7-4. I'm going to go with my gut. I'll say Alcaraz 7-4. Backhand cross court. Alcaraz with the backhand for a pass. That's a volley into the net. 1-0 for Alcaraz with a good start. Mini break. Already saving a couple set points. Carlos 7-4. Let me know, guys. Let me know prediction scores. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Carlos 7-4. Well, on stats, it should be Carlos. Yeah, I still think he's played the better set very minimally, and I think saving those 2 set points and really just getting out of that monster hold there at 5-6. I mean, he was under pressure in a lot of what they'd call, close big moments, like playing the big points well, pressure points, because those deuce points were also very nerve-wracking. He loses those points, and he's facing another set point. Sinner's made 75% first serves in, which is really good. 58% first serves in for Sinner, who does go for more on his first serves often, but still a great stat for Carlos. Another first serve just catches the line. 3-0 for Alcaraz. Carlos Alcaraz always shows up for the matches against Sinner. Don't doubt that. Do not doubt that. Carlos 7-0. Damn. Reminiscent of Indian Wells a couple years ago. Semifinal. Alcaraz saves a set point at 6-5 and then finds a way to get through the tiebreaker, which I think was pretty one-sided too. Could be wrong about that one. I think it was. 1-3. Sinner gets that point. So their tiebreaker in Indian Wells, not one-sided, but yeah, 7-4 for Carlos. Not necessarily one-sided, but not extended. Serve from the Italian. Yannick is a let. Well, the solace for Yannick is the last time these two played a tiebreaker, Carlos came back from 3-0 down. So Sinner has to think now it's his turn. He's in a definitely better position with the match not being on the line. And also, it was Sinner's serve when he was up 3-0 on hard court. Forehand of Sinner down the line, goes to the backhand of Carlos. Backhand of Sinner, cross court to the backhand of Carlos. Forehand of Sinner, forehand of Carlos in the net. I mean, honestly, Sinner actually genuinely can get maybe inspiration from that. You never know. 3-2 for Alcaraz. Just one mini break difference. But either way, he's going to have to find something special no matter how he pulls it off. Monumental tiebreaker in this set 10. We haven't seen this rivalry in a minute. So, we haven't said Alcaraz wins a set, Sinner wins a set, Alcaraz wins the match. We haven't said any of those things in a minute. So, the head-to-head is back. And we're about to say one of those things for the first time of hopefully a lot of times that we're going to say that over the next 10, 15 years. This is the ultimate next-gen battle. But they're no longer next-gen. I don't even like the term next-gen. Because if next-gen players think of themselves as next-gen, that's not good for them. They should think of them as this-gen. Like they're already here. But anyway, the young guys going at it. Already number 1 and 2 in the world. They are here, and the new era is already here. And we're finally seeing the big final between Sinner and Alcaraz. We're seeing somewhat what the new era is going to be looking like, hopefully, should these two guys stay healthy. That's what you would expect. Sir, double fault from Alcaraz, 4-3. It's been clutch this set. I didn't think it was a great toss. I almost saw it coming. 4-3, Alcaraz. It happens. It happens. It hasn't been a pattern in the set or anything. It's not like he's hit a million double faults. Pressure of the moment is real. 3-4 center. Serve. Goes to the backhand of Alcaraz. Hits the net. Center runs in. Backhand slice is in. Lob. Center's there with the smash. Hits it out. Center goes for a very low percentage shot. I was going to say, Alcaraz better be ready because I was getting flashbacks to, I think like the second or third point in the match against Casper that really set the tone. Casper hit a net cord and the ball bounced like a millimeter in front of the net. And Yannick was there and hit this incredible winner off it. So I was like, listen, Alcaraz, you better be ready because Sinner's vertical movement this tournament has been good. But yeah, good lob there from Carlos, who has one of the best lobs on without a shadow of a doubt. I'm not just talking about right now either. Forehands in the net. That's not a good error from Alcaraz. He had a chance there. 5-4. 2 more chances here to put the set away for Alcaraz. The moments that matter the most in Rome. A battle of gladiators here between these two. A gladiator battle. 5-4. Battle of gladiators here in Rome. Let the best man win. 5-4. First serves in the net. Battle of gladiators. How many sets is this? 3? Yep. Backhand. Center. Goes to the forehand of Alcaraz. Through the court and too good. 6-4. How the tables turn. Welcome to tennis, ladies and gentlemen. 2 set points for Sinner come and gone. 2 set points for Alcaraz at 6-4. His first serve, his clutch game so far this set, very good. He doesn't need another double fault on the deuce side though. As long as he makes a second serve. And he does. Forehand, center, down the middle. Good. Deep return. Backhand. Down the middle. Backhand of Carlos. Backhand of center. Good shot. Again, very deep in the court. Backhand. Center goes for it. Oh, center gets the point. That goes wide. Very good point from Yannick. Fantastic rally. These two guys are different than we've ever seen them. The rampage that Yannick has gone on since losing to Carlos in Beijing. That Beijing match, that is the last time Yannick's, I think, lost a set to a top 10 guy. I'm pretty sure that's right. Like, now we're seeing the best of the best go at it, and it is Yannick prime against Carlos playing some of the best tennis he's played. And this is what we want to see as a tennis fan. Sinner with a serve. Down the middle of the box. Forehand. Goes to the forehand of Carlos. To the forehand of Sinner. Down the middle. Forehand. So goes back to the forehand of Yannick. Backhand. Cross court. Backhand of Carlos down the line. Sinner's there with the forehand. Backhand volley. Sinner runs. Oh, flick. But Carlos is there with the volley. This is cinema. This is tennis. Buckle in, everybody. Carlos Alcaraz wins the first set 7-5. With some fantastic tennis at the end, trading mini breaks. Carlos Alcaraz gets the first set in an hour and 10 minutes. An absolute war, an absolute battle, and suddenly you remember what this rivalry is all about. Actually, an hour and 11 minutes on the clock. Carlos on clay is just too good. Yes. What a set. Fantastic. So good. Damn, I have to go out. I may be back if there's a third. Yeah. What a set of tennis. I mean, the stats aren't going to be pretty for Sinner. I mean, is that accurate? 5 winners, 22 unforced errors. I don't know. I thought it was a good set. Sinner 71% serves in compared to ALCARAZ 56% first serves in. Yeah. Carlos Spaniard from Gladiator. Yeah, absolutely, Marcus. Never fails. You'll see all kind of chatters looking for a free live stream. There's no such thing, guys. Pay up. Yeah, unfortunately. That was a good get from Sinner. Carlos Alcaraz was good to stay in it. Carlos Alcaraz deserved that set. Man. Sinner will wish that the one thing I would say about that set, coming away from the set, is that the deuce points at 5-6, but even more importantly, that's a little bit nitpicking. Not very like. I really do think that Sinner will wish he played those points better, but he played those points well at deuce. Just Carlos Alcaraz came in clutch, honestly. But I think that the point at 30-40, I mean, the first point, Sinner just missed the return and Alcaraz hit a good first serve. But 30-40 set point at 5-6, Sinner gets the first serve. And then he just plays so hesitantly in that point. You know, fortune favors the bold. And Carlos played more bold down set point than Yannick did. Like, it doesn't make much sense. So that is the one point I would really point out that Yannick wishes. You know, he got a big second serve. You know, he hits a big second serve return. Suddenly the first set's just about over. Gets an advantageous position. The rally goes for it. Like, Yannick is very capable of that. So that's the one thing I would say. Carlos now 7-4 in the tiebreaker head-to-head in this rivalry. Carlos to serve. Another good thing for Carlos. Another good thing about breaking to win a set is that Carlos now serves first. That's what you want. Squash shot, volley, put away. Love 15 for Sinner. Match is not even close to over. By the way, as I was saying earlier, Carlos 3-0 last year, but he lost the first set in each of those matches. Pattern changes here. I don't know if that was necessarily Yannick wanted to lose the first set. He put in quite an effort over an hour and 11 minutes to just lose the set. But even if it's not what he planned, just want to point it out that the pattern is different. Drop shot from Carlos is one that I don't like there. Love 30. You want to keep the momentum on. You don't want to be taking outlandish risks early because Sinner gets the break and suddenly the momentum is lost, you know, just like that. Neither player broke in the last set, you know. If that same pattern holds, Alcaraz loses this game, we go to a third set. And Sinner serves it out at 6-4, you know. Carlos needs to grit in here and lock in. Serve from Carlos. Backhand of Sinner. Forehand of Carlos. Cross court to the forehand of Sinner. Cross court. Alcaraz is there. Slice. Backhand slice. Goes to the backhand of Sinner. Alcaraz there with the forehand. One of the best rallies of the match so far. Backhand. Inside out. Forehand of Sinner. Backhand cross court. Goes to the backhand of Sinner. Up high. It's going to go long. The other thing I'll mention, is that the best level of the match in Beijing happened in the best rallies were almost exclusively in the last half of that match. They almost exclusively happened after about, let's say, 7-6, 3-2, like after midway through the second set. So some of the best rallies of this match could still be yet to come. I do think the first set was good though. Oh, what an angle from Alcaraz. Sinner is forced to go around the net. Ridiculous backhand angle from Alcaraz. Muted applause, but if Yannick hit that, the crowd would be going crazy. That was a great shot. Very impressive. It was the kind of angle where it was so good, you almost expect it has to be going out. But it stays in. Very impressive. Yeah, Yannick just off balance. And when do you say that? as a former, like, one of the best junior skiers in the world. Has got great balance, huh? Need great balance for skiing. You also need it for tennis. It's a good serve from Alcaraz, 40-30. I still think that more people should be paying attention to the skiing tennis pipeline. Like, Djokovic did skiing as a kid. Sinner did skiing as a kid. Like, if you want to be like one of potentially the GOATs, like maybe you want to do skiing as a kid and then transition to tennis. Like, I think the winning recipe to be the greatest tennis player of all time is right there, and nobody's taking advantage of it. Forehand, drop shot, Sinner's running. He gets there. Down the line, lob. That's going to go out. Good eye from Jannik to leave it. Good eye from Jannik, honestly. Deuce. Sinner and Alcaraz both 24 for 32 on first serve points won. Wow. It's exactly the same. That's how close it's been. But Alcaraz maybe a little bit more clutch, even maybe a little bit more consistent. That's a good shot from Alcaraz. 1-0. Good start for Carlos. I mean, they now have quite the hefty rivalry to pinpoint moments from their past matches. And Umag, Alcaraz up 7-6, 1-0. Sinner comes back and wins 11 of the last 12 games. And I said that is the most comparable match that you could say, and the most important match to point to when you're talking about this match. They haven't played yet this year. I know that was a long time ago, but big clay final, and that's what happened. So just something I want to point out. The other thing I would say is I always found it funny that with the Sinner Alcaraz head-to-head, the first 4 matches of this head-to-head was played on 4 different surfaces. They played their first match in Paris on indoor hard courts, then at Wimbledon on grass, then in Umag on clay, and then at the US Open on outdoor hard courts. And I actually, even like going a step further than that, Indian Wells, they played, I don't know. I mean, then they played Indian Wells, Miami. So I don't know. It's the first 4 meetings of their head-to-head was played on 4 different surfaces. I dare anybody to find another rivalry where that's happened, period, let alone a rivalry of this caliber. Like, it almost feels like this is the chosen rivalry. Like, this rivalry is the chosen one. Even there are other crazy things about it too. I mean, like I said, the first match that they ever played was the very first challenger match Carlos Alcaraz played, period. Both guys were wild cards in that tournament. Alcaraz with a big forehand down the line, love 30. If Sinner wins this match, the screenshot from this moment will literally look almost the same as Umag. Like, take a screenshot right now. Does lightning strike twice, or is this Carlos Alcaraz's day? Alcaraz, the way he played against Sinner all year last year, his success on clay, his success against Sinner in general, and also Sinner being away from the tour for a few months, it kind of has come together here. And Alcaraz just playing a little bit more clutch. Now the screenshot is literally exactly the same as Umag. The only difference is actually, I don't know. I think it literally might be exactly the same. What was the tiebreaker score there? It would be literally exactly the same. Even the first set's tiebreaker score, 7-5. But anyway, that is the only solace for Sinner right now. Carlos Alcaraz looking very dangerous right now and looking to take a 2-0 lead swiftly. Forehand goes to the forehand of Sinner, cross court, forehand of Alcaraz, big, down the line, backhand of Sinner, backhand of Alcaraz, backhand of Sinner, goes to the forehand of Alcaraz, Sinner again, with the backhand cross court to the backhand of Sinner, backhand down the line, forehand of Jannik, Goes to the backhand of Carlos. Forehand cross court of Yannick. Forehand down the line, send the net. Lightning does not strike twice. It is Carlos Alcaraz at 2-0, who has proven to be, I mean, listen, people will say things like, think about it objectively. Like, think about it from a standpoint of, like, what are the facts? The facts in front of us are that Carlos Alcaraz, people will say things like, he is a flashy player, which he is. He's a talent player. He's an athlete. He's this. But arguably the most impressive thing about Carlos Alcaraz, and the thing that makes him stand apart the most, is that this guy shows up in the big moments time and time again. Again and again. This guy shows up in the big moments. Just look at the facts. He's about to be 11-2 in big finals, just turning 22 years old. And the two finals he lost were all-time matches where he played amazing against Djokovic, the greatest player of all time. Like, look at the facts for what they are. Alcaraz is a clutch player, and he's proven that in this match. 15 love. If it need to be proven. How's it going, Naked Eyes? How's it going, Snahill? The only difference is Sinner is going to lose today. And then I'm so excited. Yesterday, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning released in India. I'm going to watch the one 4 day. Hey, nice. That's sweet. Glad you're excited for that as well. Sinner getting a point on the board, 15 all. Crowd getting something to cheer about. Crowd's going to go even more crazy for Yannick now. Don't count out Sinner. Same way I say don't count out Alcaraz. That's what makes this rivalry fun. Just one break. Very different from a 2-break lead. Just one break. I mean, let's be honest, he's not playing John Isner here. Carlos Alcaraz has had a great serving day, but just one break. And Sinner has one of the best returns we've seen all century. Forehand, big, inside in. 30-15. By the way, Yannick Sinner, the only player this century, which is a pretty limited time span. Tennis has been going on for 160 years of great tennis, but this century so far, Yannick Sinner joins the likes of just Andy Murray, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic as the only players to have a 25-plus match win streak. Forehand down the line, so good. Also, Yannick, since 1990, has the second longest win streak at big tournaments, only behind Novak in 2014 to 2015. Set win streak at big tournaments. He hasn't lost a set in a minute at a big tournament. Or, sorry, not a set, just not sets at big tournaments, just matches at big tournaments. Backhand slice. He lost a set to Schoolcade in Australian Open. Forehand, cross court. Forehand of Alcaraz, a drop shot. It's going to be too good. Alcaraz is on fire. Fire versus ice, and fire is winning. 3-0 so far. But didn't he lose a set to Paul? You are absolutely right. Match win streak. I was wrong. Match win streak, not set win streak. It's confusing. All these stats are so similar. There's like consecutive sets won, consecutive matches won. I mix the two up in my head, which happens. 3-0. Big lead for Carlos Alcaraz, looking to take this head-to-head to a 7-4 lead. Be massive. It would be massive. Once again, I don't think it necessarily means that Sinner cannot lead this head-to-head once it's all said and done. I don't think it means that it will necessarily define what happens for the rest of the year, but it's huge. Don't get it twisted. It's big. And I think the most important point is that 30-40 point at 6-5. How is Sinner? Is he okay? Sinner looks fine. I don't think injury is that big of a factor here from my perspective. I could be wrong. He hasn't taken an MTO. I think Sinner's okay. I I don't see anything like that. All right, it's 3-0. All right, I'll be back in a moment, guys. I'll be back for this 3-0 game. Don't go anywhere. ALCARAZ is playing superb. ALCARAZ is playing superb. There's no doubt. If I'm saying something, I'm saying ALCARAZ is playing superb. I think he's playing great. Forehand big from Sinner. Goes to the backhand of ALCARAZ. Sinner's going to have to pick it up right here, right now, though. Backhand cross court to the backhand of Carlos. Sinner with the jumping backhand down line. So good. You will say, though, that performance by Sinner against Casper Ruud will go down as one of the all-time great performances in a tournament where a player does not win the tournament if he ends up losing this final. That is going to end up being a memorable performance anyway, and such a statement for the rest of the year to say that. Listen, Sinner might not have played for a few months in a professional tournament, but he's right where he left off. It's a Carlos Alcaraz mentality, though, the way he's playing right now. It's finals is not about was it playing? It's about winning. Honestly, one of the best tennis quotes I've heard. Forehand slice, backhand, Sinner comes in, backhand's a lob. What a shot. Sinner can't handle it. Alcaraz is playing really well. That's not a shot Sinner needs to miss, though. That's not a good miss. I mean, it was pretty obvious Alcaraz was going to hit a lob. Sinner didn't really need to close into the net as much as he did because you're playing Alcaraz. You got to expect that. Well, first of all, the lob is an option. Either way, you're closing in way too much. The ball is going to come back. Like, you're just not really getting into position. And then he had a lot of time where it was obvious Alcaraz was going to hit the lob. Sinner needs to make that. Obviously, tough shot. Alcaraz, great lob and great vision there, but good shot choice. But it's not a shot Sinner needs to miss either. So kind of two things that are important to mention there, I think. Alcaraz is looking for a bagel. I don't think there's been a bagel yet in this head-to-head. In fact, I'm almost positive there has not been. I'll check. It's been a few breadsticks. A couple. Score is looking mighty similar to Indian Wells from a couple years ago. Matches, I mean, in general, this match is pretty similar timing-wise to that. Not having played since the U.S. Open to Indian Wells, but forehand slice from Sinner goes wide, and Sinner just not looking as... He might not look like 100% fresh. Nobody is 100% fresh going into the final. I don't think he's injured, but I think Alcaraz is looking the more fresh from the two. Also, that first set was an absolute battle. I think maybe just wearing Sinner down and just the variety that Alcaraz has to offer is maybe a little bit tougher when you are not maybe at 110% physically. The variety Alcaraz has to offer is just so tough to deal with. Alcaraz has this scary killer look in his eye. He really plays the finals with a purpose. He's looking for a 19-6 record. I think that's what it was for Carlos. No, actually, I think he's looking for his 20th title, maybe 20-5. Oh, it's a terrible miss from Sinner. Terrible, terrible volley. That was a gimme right into the net. Sinner playing a nervy second set. That is not a volley to miss. Double break for Carlos Alcaraz, 4-0. Gonna double check if there's been a bagel, but I don't think there has been. Yeah, there's not been a bagel. There has been 5 breadsticks. There has been 5 breadsticks, and there's been a tiebreaker that's been a bagel, and that was one of my favorite. Honestly, that's probably my favorite moment in the set 10. When Sinner came back in the 3rd set of the U.S. Open and won an absolute won a bagel set, a tiebreaker when everybody thought he was injured. I was like, that was peak. Like, I was like, that's crazy. Like, what is happening right now kind of moment. But yeah, there's not been a bagel though. Alcaraz looking to have the first bagel here. There's no excuse to this. Alcaraz is playing much better. He's a better player on clay anyway. I agree he's a better player on clay. And I agree he's playing better. I'm not really making excuses. Like I said, I don't think Jannik is injured. But if I'm looking at Jannik, I think partially due to Alcaraz playing such a good first set and pulling that out physically, I think it's just worn Sinner down a little bit. It's not really an excuse. It's like, shout out to Alcaraz. He's worn Sinner down. I don't think Sinner is like injured. I don't think Sinner is properly injured. We'll find out more. I'm not inside Sinner's head. But certainly, to me, it just appears like, well, first of all, Alcaraz played a great match, objectively. And I think he's just been the better player. So I'm not disagreeing with you. Really good match in first set anyway. I don't think this match is disappointed. Not in my book. It's been amazing the kind of performance Alcaraz has put up and saving 2 set points there in the first set. Although no doubt Sinner will come away disappointed. Back in cross court. That's in the net from Sinner. 3-15. Sinner definitely not playing his A+ game. Not even very close to it. But Alcaraz, part of the reason for that. You have to say. Still disappointment for Jannik. 30-15. Great commentary. Thanks. I appreciate it, Michael. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, guys. I'm going to have a weekly podcast that comes out on Monday mornings called the New Tennis Era Podcast, where I'll be analyzing this match. So tune into that too. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's going to be good stuff coming. So $30 Alcaraz has won 20 of the last 27 points. Carlos Alcaraz at 30 here, 4-0, trying to keep up this double break lead. Serve out wide, forehand. Alcaraz goes to the backhand of Sinner. Backhand of Carlos, the backhand of Sinner. Backhand Carlos again, cross court. Backhand down the line. Forehand Carlos, the forehand of Sinner. Forehand Carlos, a drop shot. Sinner runs, can't get there. That drop shot has been amazing. Carlos Alcaraz is amazing. I mean, what play? How he's shown up in this match has been amazing. But it's saving 2 set points in the first set. Absolutely crucial. Carlos Alcaraz playing 2 clutch masterclasses of sets consecutively in this set, going down 3-0 in the Beijing tiebreaker, and then coming back and winning 7-3. And then, being down 2 set points at 5-6, bunch of deuces, winning that game. About 7-8 months apart, but 2 great sets. Squash shot is very good. Alcaraz runs, what a get. No way. Sinner, come on. Alcaraz, get real. Alcaraz is not a real person. He's playing with a video game controller, not a tennis racket. Alcaraz playing video game tennis in Rome. And he is the killer gladiator on the day in Italy. 5-0. Alcaraz looking to have the first bagel of this head-to-head. Be well deserved, to be honest. He's played a hell of a set. That was the point in the match so far. Carlos Alcaraz, get out of here. Anthony, take a screenshot. 1-0-30 love. I mean, listen, I gotta keep it exciting. What do I say? It's about to be 5-0. Everybody would tune off. You know, I like to keep it real, keep it genuine, but to a point, I can't just be like, all right, guys, get excited. It's about to be 5-0. That'd be crazy. All right, guys, get excited. ALCARAZ is going to win, and he's not going to have any kind of difficulty doing it. It's going to be exciting. 5-0. It's going to be so good. Hit the like button, subscribe. Yeah, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, all that stuff. I like to keep it real, but I mean, come on. I don't want to sound like an idiot up here. All right, guys, it's about to be so good. 5-0. You haven't seen anything like this yet. The new era of tennis, 5-0 for ALCARAZ. Quality shot made to 13K subscribers. Congrats. Hey, nice. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you for that. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys for joining in. It's been one of the bigger streams that I've done, which is awesome. I expected it to be with Sinner ALCARAZ, but it's been a good stream. So thanks, guys, for joining in. All right, serve from Sinner. Out wide is out. Second serve. Second serve here for Sinner. Backhand Carlos. Goes to the forehand of Sinner. Forehand of Carlos. It's going to be long. Carlos Alcaraz looking for 2 of the 3 Clay Masters titles. I'm trying to remember, when is the last time that's happened? There's something else that I'm curious about. That after this match, after this tournament, these 2 are going to be at the top of the rankings. That's what you want to see. Wow, big backhand down line from Sinner. Why haven't we seen more of that, Yannick? That's kind of the question, but part of that's to do with Alcaraz, huh? 30 love. Last time we saw somebody win 2 out of the 3 Clay Masters tournaments. Trying to find that now. So 2018, Nadal wins Monte Carlo in Rome. Hasn't happened for 7 years. Hasn't happened for 7 years after happening for about 15 years consecutively with Rafa. 40 love for Sinner, trying to avoid a bagel here. It seems like he's going to. Identical scoreline to their matchup in Indian Wells 2 years ago. Like I said, that was the first time that they had played in about 6 months since at U.S. Open, and a very similar situation in general, not just scoreline. Very comparable matches, in my opinion. Also, Alcaraz just winning the clutch match in U.S. Open the year before. He just won the match in Beijing. Like, there's a lot of comparisons here from this match to their match in Indian Wells. But yeah, I mean, people will say Sinner's only just come back, so that's going to be something people say, but I think all credit to Alcaraz. You know, people pay attention to Sinner's side of the court, and maybe you should to an extent, but like to the extent of like how well did he play, but Alcaraz played amazing. You know, he took this match. He won this match. 5-1. He is 4 points away from the win here. Carlos Alcaraz serving for the match, and what's been a genuinely very impressive performance here yet again in a big final for Alcaraz. Yeah, because I mean, with a spotlight on Alcaraz's face, he shows up, and it's exciting. I mean, I'm honestly like looking at Carlos and just looking at the glare in his eyes. He has such a killer instinct about him that's it's almost scary. Like throughout this whole match, and that's that's why he was able to save the 2-set points. He shows up. It's good. So good on clay. First time in 7 years, somebody wins 2 out of the 3 big Clay Masters titles, potentially. 30 love. Hopefully we see this at Roland Garros or Wimbledon too, by the way. That'll be exciting. Serve out wide, forehand of Sinner. Goes the backhand Carlos in the net. Crowd still rallying behind Yannick. I mean, the match looks over, but I guess it's not yet, so... 30-15. Alcaraz still 2 points away from lifting his 7th Masters title at just 22 years of age. Backhand's going to be long. 40-15 for Alcaraz now. He's got championship point to win the 11th big title of his career. The first and only Carlos Alcaraz at 40-15 for a championship point. Serve, back end of center. Forehand of Carlos is a shank. It's going to go long. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, Quality Shot Tennis. Don't forget to like the stream as well. It would be appreciated if you enjoyed it. And yeah, 40-30 here. And don't forget to join in. We're going to have coverage of Roland Garros, so keep Quality Shot Tennis on your radars for that. 40-30. We're going to be doing Roland Garros streams as well, and Wimbledon. Serve. Out wide, backhand, center. Goes to the forehand of Carlos. Forehand up high. Oh! Now it's time for Alcaraz to make a pretty egregious error at the net. That was tough though. It was a tough shot. I say egregious error. It wasn't pretty, but it was more difficult than it looked. Lob from center, and Alcaraz goes for the Pete Sampras slam dunk. But he shows why he's on a tennis court, not a basketball court. Doesn't quite get the elevation there, as he hits 2 consecutive shanks, to be fair. Backhand, cross court, Alcaraz, backhand of center. Forehand. Alcaraz just makes it, just stays in. Looked like it might float long, but just makes it in. All right, for Alcaraz to take this thing home. This head-to-head and rivalry is back for Alcaraz to go up 7-4. Serve, out wide, backhand, center. Forehand drop shot for the umpteenth time. Center's there. Alcaraz is there. Alcaraz gets it done in Rome with a great championship point. He's got the net covered. He's got the drop shots covered. Center climbs to the other side of the net, just like at the U.S. Open and one of the great matches that we've seen. And the rivalry is back. Alcaraz goes up 7-4. And he is the champion. A clutch performance, a great performance, a Carlos Alcaraz performance. Don't say this guy's not clutch, because you know he is. There you go. Carlos Alcaraz wins 2 out of the 3 Clay Masters, and he is unequivocally the favorite going into Roland Garros. Unequivocally the favorite going into Roland Garros. Very few will say otherwise after that. Some will say, Sinner, he wasn't far off. He had set points. He played arguably some of the best peak tennis in that tournament against Casper Ruud in the quarters. With more match play under his belt, maybe he shows up at Roland Garros. Who knows? Who's the better player in 3 out of 5 sets? Who knows? Both these guys are good in 3 out of 5 sets. Both of them are solid in finals, especially big finals. But Carlos Alcaraz showing again why he is such not an exciting prospect anymore, just an exciting player. The talk of next gen, the talk of prospect is over. These 2 guys have played a big final. These 2 guys have shown who they are. And these 2 guys are here to stay. They are number 1 and 2 in the world. And yeah, Carlos Alcaraz goes up 7-4 in the head-to-head. There you have it. Ball don't lie. What's up, Ghost? Joining in late. You joined in late, but thank you for joining in anyway. Yeah, thank you, S8. Do you also follow Mission Impossible series? Now, I'm tired of these sequels, dude. I want more original movies. I'm planning to make some too. I do filmmaking also, so thank you for your commentating, Anthony. Congrats, Alcaraz. Yeah, thanks, guys. All right, tune in for Roland Garros, and we'll have the commentary for you. Thank you, Jara, Lexi. We'll have the commentary for you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, don't forget to like on your way out as well. Carlos Alcaraz gets it done. And yeah, it's no longer about next gen, new era prospects. Carlos Alcaraz, an amazing player and showing why. And winning 73% of first serve points and making a lot of first serves in. He made 64% first serves in, which is more than good enough. He was at 75% about midway through the match as well. Just great. Overall, just had the whole court covered. The match point was brilliant because it just showed he was firing on all fronts, whether it was back the court, whether it was at the net, whether it was drop shots. It was tough. The only thing I will say is that Yannick will wish he played better at the 40-30 point at 5-6, but that's what happens. 1 point like that can end up pretty much defining a match. I mean, when you don't have match play under your belt for 3 months, coming up against the level and intensity Alcaraz brings, that's a tough ask for Sinner, you know? That's a tough ask for Sinner, so that's what I'd have to say. Thank you, Marina. Thank you, Mark Hugh. Appreciate you guys. I'm joining late, too. All good, all good. Hey, for anybody joining later, anybody who joined early, I don't care. Join in for Roland Garros coverage. Join in. We'll have it for you. It's going to be good. It's going to be epic. We got it. Join in. Yeah, Alcaraz now 11-2 in big finals. If you're 11-2 in big finals and the only finals you've lost are against Novak, that's not too bad. Also, by the way, how many sets has he lost in big finals, period? It's not going to be that many, particularly in Masters finals. Like, I'm just looking at his Masters finals so far. 7-5, 6-4, 6-3, 6-1, 6-3, 6-2, 7-6, 6-1 against Medvedev last year, Indian Wells. The 3 sets he's lost in Masters finals outside of that Cincinnati match against Djokovic, Jan-Lennart Struff in Madrid, which is strange, but Jan-Lennart Struff in Madrid. Actually, it's just 2 sets outside of Cincinnati. Musetti in Monte Carlo, and then the 2 sets to Djokovic in Cincinnati. But in eight finals, like, that is pretty freaking fantastic to lose just 4 sets. Like, that's 12-4 set record in Masters 1000 finals. Crazy. Yeah, obviously at Grand Slam finals, he's 4-0, but they haven't been easy. Even the match against Casper at the U.S. Open, people forget Casper Ruud had 2 set points in the 3rd set. Like, that was tricky too. And then Zverev at the French, Djokovic at Wimbledon, not last year, but the year before that, and one of the all-time, what's going to end up being one of the most famous, most historic matches ever played. If you saw it live, you were lucky. I feel privileged I even got to see it live on TV as it was happening. Like, that might end up being the most famous tennis match of all time if Alcaraz ends up getting himself truly, truly in the GOAT conversation. And who knows how long. All right, thanks, Lexi. Thank you, Doreen. All right, I'm going to head out, too. It was Carlos Alcaraz, 7-6, 6-1. I'm going to have the analysis of this one. Join in for Quality Shot Tennis for my new Tennis Era podcast that come out weekly on Monday. So don't forget to subscribe, ring the notification bell. I know you get notified for live streams, so that way you get notified for the podcast too, and also other content that we'll be doing. We're going to be going to different tournaments too. A lot of stuff coming up. Join in for that. Thank you guys for joining in. It's Carlos Alcaraz making a statement yet again that he is going to be a big, big, big part of this new era. And welcome in, everybody. Buckle in to the new era. We are here. 7-6, 6-1 for Carlos Alcaraz.